The binding of Isaac as a library of items, with every item having its own unique abilities and meanings. Today, I'm putting my thinking hat on and tackling all quality 0 items and seeing if I can pinpoint what they mean in context to the game. Certain topics may be off-putting to hear about, so I will say, viewer discretion is advised. Okay, let's start off with how I'm going to come to my conclusions about the items. I'm going to be doing research on the item itself and what the normal item is and how it fits in the context of the Binding of Isaac. Some items will definitely not be a part of this research because they're quite simple to understand, but I will be looking into the game and the origins of the items as points of evidence to explain how the item works and what it means. Quality is a mechanic that defines how compatible or powerful the item is. Power can be put into different categories like stat increases, tier effects, health or size changes. I'm starting with the baseline of quality 0 and in later videos I will tackle the rest. But let's just get into it now. The Hourglass, an active item that slows down enemy and enemy tiers for 8 seconds. This design of a simple hourglass that would be seen in a school, and we can assume that this is how Isaac felt in school while the hourglass was in use. It felt like time was slowing down, so in Isaac's perspective, it feels like everything around him slows down. The Anarchist Cookbook. This is an active item that summons 6 troll bombs. The Anarchist Cookbook is a reference to William Powell's 1971 book, also named The Anarchist Cookbook. This book contains instructions on how to make explosives in an attempt to buy William was made to be removed from circulation due to the kids gaining access to the book. Now going back to Isaac has the book and they become troll bombs as Isaac still is a child and does not have control of the bombs he summons. Lemon Mishap is an active item which drops lemonade on the floor and does 8 damage per tick. It's a simple one, I think. It kind of just shows the childish nature of Isaac. He drops lemonade on the floor, it does a little bit of damage. Monstro's Tooth. This item summons Monstro to jump on a random enemy and deal 120 damage. Monstro is similar to the Latin word monstrum, which means monster. Monstro can also be translated to a freakishly large person or thing. In this case, the monster summoned by Isaac is a large freakish thing, showing Isaac's imagination of what a monster looks like. The Bean. One of many beans, this active item produces poisonous gas which deals damage. Simple item of how Isaac thinks the effects of beans are. Best Friend. This active item places a decoy which attracts the enemy and explodes after a period of time. The name Best Friend implies Isaac sees this decoy as a friend that has left him, which is evident due to the fact that it explodes. We can also say that the friend may have left him due to the popularity as enemies are attracted to it. Remote Detonator. This active item allows you to blow up bombs manually, so you can choose when to blow up a bomb. This is quite a simple item. I feel like it's a easy comparison to Toon Force and the way cartoons blow up bombs through detonation. Infestation. This item spawns in 2 to 6 blue flies when Isaac is hit. This portrays Isaac's fear of flies as he believes that flies will come out of him if he is infected by one. Ankh. This item respawns Isaac as ? Also known as Blue Baby, if Isaac dies. The Ankh is an Egyptian hieroglyphic which represents life. In this case, it represents a second life for Isaac even after he has died. Blue Baby is a production of suffocation in which Isaac suffocates in the chest, which shows that Isaac thinks he will be after he dies. Portable Slot. This item is a definition of gambling. It even says gamble 24/7. Not really much to say about this item. The Black Bean. I've got nothing to say, man. It's just a bean that causes you to fart. Blood Rights. This active item causes damage to Isaac, which then causes mass damage to all enemies in the room. This item is a razor that has fresh blood on it. It is apparent that either Isaac or his parents did self-harm and Isaac uses it to harm himself and give harm to others. Abel. Abel is a familiar that will mirror Isaac and deal 3.5 tier damage, unless with Cain, in which he will do 5 damage. Abel is the first martyr according to Genesis 4. His blood martyr represents reliance on blood sacrifices. In Isaac, he relies on Isaac and in turn mirrors his movements. But if you play Cain, it's a bit different. Cain and Abel are brothers in the Bible, and that's why there is a damage up due to the brotherly bond that they have. Box. It's just a box with a bunch of things in it. Nothing much to say. The guillotine. This item detached Isaac's head and orbits around his body, dealing 7 contact damage. This item can be inferred to the French Revolution, in which many Christians were victims of the guillotine due to treason. But I think the description of this item when picked up may point to the more correct direction. When picked up, the guillotine is said to be an out-of-body experience, in which literally it is, but it can also be seen from a spiritual side. Isaac's spirit is released and more free, which explains why this item does no damage or lower your health when picked up. Spider Baby. I would say it's the same concept as Infestation, just with spiders instead. Tiny Planet. This item causes Isaac's tears to revolve around Isaac. This is a reference to 360 Tiny Planet photography, in which a photo will be captured with a 360 view mirroring the shape of a planet. E. coli. Turns normal enemies into poo, mainly by contact. E. coli is a well-known bacterium that is said to cause many problems such as diarrhea. Isaac's fear of this bacteria makes him believe that anything he touches will become poo, which shows his childlike mind. Lil Baggy. It's a bag that contains pills, in which all pickup items become pills. This kind of makes the idea that his mom has pills and, uses them for happiness or relief or anything of the sort, and Isaac sees that and assumes that it's okay, which in turn taints him. Missing No. This item rolls your whole build every time you go into a new floor. To me, the Missing No just kind of seems like a Pokemon reference, but if you have any other suggestions, please let me know. BBF Bob's Brain. Both are items which spawn in a companion that blows up on impact. BBF, from what I can tell, has no significance, but Bob is confirmed to be Isaac's uncle, with the phrase "Bob's your uncle" to be taken literally. Bob is also a 7 deadly sin known as sloth. This seems like Isaac's had an uncle who did nothing to help them and was too lazy with alcohol or a substance which would poison your brain and self. Best Bud. Isaac gains a white attack fly that orbits around him when he takes damage. There are multiple orbital fly items in the game and describe a feeling that Isaac wants or is feeling. Best Bud is the missing feeling of having someone to protect you and that will always be loyal to you. The Jar. I don't think this item has much of a meaning besides being able to carry hearts. Butterbean. Another bean item which just releases gas, has no real meaning. Magic Finger. This active item deals damage to the whole room but costs 1 coin. This is a reference to the games that offer pay to win options. Strange Attractor. This item causes Isaac's tears to become magnetic and attract pickups. This item can also cause enemies to have unpredictable movements. This can be seen as a reference to the Strange Attractor Chaos Theory. This theory is quite complex and I don't think it has a complete link to Isaac, but the unpredictable movements of the enemies that the item causes can be seen similar to the explanation of the chaotic theory. Scissors is an active item that will cut Isaac's head from his body and shoot a fountain of tears. This is a simple explanation of when Isaac's young, he hears "don't run scissors," and this is the action that's going to happen if you do run, you lose your head. The Whiz. Isaac shoots 2 tears diagonally. This is a play on word as whiz means smart, but the hat Isaac wears says dunce, which means stupid. Isaac most likely was bullied and told to wear that hat as a source of mockery. The Curse of the Tower. When Isaac is hit, 6 troll bombs will spawn in. The Tower is a tarot card which can symbolize sudden chaos. In this case, the sudden chaos is the bombs that spawn in. Marked. A marked location which Isaac will shoot his tears at. Nothing much to say. Black Powder. Isaac spills black powder on the floor and when a circle is formed, a pentagram will appear. This has no direct reference to anything that I could find. My assumption is that Isaac sees his black powder as satanic and assumes that when a circle is formed, a ritual will begin. Varicose veins. When Isaac is hurt, 10 tears will shoot out of Isaac as a circle. Varicose veins is a disease in which a weaker or damaged one-way valve in the vein is present, causing blood to rush backwards to the heart. Shade. Shade is a familiar that will follow Isaac's movements and deal contact damage. In Christianity, a shadow following someone can be seen as a sign of protection from God, with Isaac being the one who requires protection. Plan C. This active item can kill anything in the game, but kills Isaac's after 3 seconds of using it. This is a reference to Plan B pills used to stop early pregnancies. Pause. This active item freezes enemies for 30 seconds or until Isaac shoots. This is a clear reference to a TV remote pause button. Data Miner. To keep it simple, Data Miner is an active item that distorts the game. This item is a reference to the Lost and Keeper ARG that was data mined, which included the repeated number 109. 109 is the description of the item when picked up. Door Razor. This item gives you invincibility frames for like 1 to 2 seconds. It's a cool reference to how when you have a razor and you're shaving, you feel like you hurt yourself but you didn't. Pretty much the reference. Clicker, a TV remote that changes Isaac's character. This shows Isaac's multiple personalities clashing and him switching between them like a TV channel. Isaac shows how he copes with making it seem like it's in his control through the use of the remote, but in reality, he's unable to pick what character he's going to be, and it's completely up to the remote for it to pick. Leprosy. When Isaac takes damage, it will spawn an orbital that will block enemy projectiles. This is a disease that is mentioned in the Bible. Moses and Jesus both had miracles involving leprosy, but for Isaac, nobody is there to help him out, so he sees himself as impure. Wavy Cap. This active item will make Isaac have a hallucinating experience. This is a reference to a real-life wavy cap, also known as the blue leg brownies. This mushroom are known to cause visual and auditory hallucinations, similar to what Isaac is experiencing. Mars. Isaac can charge at enemies, dealing 4 times your current tier damage. In Roman mythology, there is a god of war known as Mars. Romans named their god of war Mars due to the red color of Mars that was similar to the color of blood. Isaac turns red, but is also enraged, almost like he is going to war. Birdcage. Spawns a familiar when damage is taken that is similar to Dead Bird. This item can be seen as a pun of Cage, a boss, and Dead Bird, an item, but I think it has a biblical meaning. Birdcages are rarely used metaphors in the Bible, which refers to holding in the sinful. The bird in this case is a sinner, and releasing it only causes chaos. Lil Portal. I think Lil Portal is a really cool item, to be honest, a really cool familiar that grabs up items, creates a portal for you, and then sometimes this can happen. You go to a different version of your bedroom. I don't think it has too much lore implications, but it's pretty cool. IBS. IBS causes Isaac to throw random poops at random times. IBS is also known as irritable bowel syndrome, which is known to give you abdominal pain, bowel changes, and bloating/gas. Scooper. I feel like this item is pretty, self-explanatory. Isaac scoops his eye out, but I feel like it has a lot of dark dimensions in the sense of Isaac seems to be suffering a lot and thinks that it's okay to use something as innocent as an ice cream scooper to scoop his eye out. It's very confusing, but it's also very sad. Book of Secrets grants a random map effect. The Apocryphon of John has information of Jesus' appearances and the imparting of secret knowledge. Weirdly enough, this scripture is also referred as the secret book of John. Cursed Eye. Isaac charges his tears to shoot 5 at a time, but if he is hit, there is a high chance he is teleported to a random room. This is a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's book, The Telltale Heart. This book contains an old man with an evil eye similar to the cursed eye. The old man with the evil eye was a result of lead poisoning, which makes the eye pale white and the pupil fade away, similar to Isaac's cursed eye. Red Stew. This item fully heals Isaac while also giving him a large damage boost, which decreases over time. This is a reference to Genesis, in which Esau was starving to death and Jacob, who is his twin brother, was having red stew. Esau pleaded for a portion of the red stew, in which Jacob only agreed if he could have the birthright to become the firstborn son. Charm of a vampire. This is the concept of what Isaac believes a vampire would be like. It's a childish ideal of what a vampire would act and how they would gain health from attacking someone. Betrayal. Betrayal makes enemies betray other enemies and attack them. Betrayal can be seen multiple times in the Bible, more famously Judas betraying Jesus. Dead Bird, a familiar that will attack enemies when Isaac takes damage. I'm a bit unsure about this item, to be honest. I can only infer that it references to Adam and Eve's learning how to bury their son Abel. They learned this through watching a bird bury a dead bird. Isaac's heart. It's a familiar that Isaac has to protect with his life, else he will die, as his heart now takes damage for him. Missing page 2. This item does mass damage in a room if Isaac has a total of 1 heart and is taking damage. This is a clear reference to Evil Dead, but I'm not too sure where else it goes to. Kamikaze. Well, Isaac becomes a bomb. I don't think there's much to say about this besides he wants to blow up. Mom's bra, mom's pad. Yeah, nah, I think this is the best way to end the video. Come on now, do I need to explain anything? Do I? Well, we finally reached the end, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me forever to do, so I would appreciate if you guys subscribe, give a like, give a comment, give me your opinions. You might have noticed that I did miss out on certain items. I'll be so real, some items are not even worth talking about. I already put some of those items in there and I was like, you know what? Let me stop doubling up, because I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. So that's why some items are missing. But I did cover, to the best of my ability anyways, the origins of all quality 0 items. If you guys want quality 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let me know. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.